To me, it's just hatred towards this young lady. Only thing she's doing, like you said, is out here. She's playing the game of basketball, and she's having fun doing it.
I love her game. A lot like Steph. She reminds me of Steph Curry a lot.
Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise in the world of basketball has not only captivated fans, but also drawn the attention and admiration of legendary figures in the sport. Her exceptional talent and impact on the WNBA have sparked discussions among icons like Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson, who see in her a transformative force reminiscent of their own eras. This narrative delves into the profound influence Clark has had on the game and the powerful endorsements she has received from these basketball luminaries. Caitlin Clark's journey from a standout college athlete to a professional sensation has been nothing short of remarkable. Her transition into the WNBA was met with high expectations, and she quickly proved her mettle by delivering performances that not only met, but often exceeded those anticipations. Her ability to score from virtually anywhere on the court, coupled with her vision and playmaking skills, has made her a formidable presence in the league. However, with the spotlight came scrutiny. Despite her contributions to the game, Clark faced criticism from various quarters. Some detractors questioned her rapid ascent and the extensive media coverage she received, suggesting that it overshadowed other deserving athletes. Others scrutinized her playing style, labeling it as overly aggressive or flamboyant. Such critiques, while not uncommon for athletes in the limelight, highlighted the challenges Clark faced in navigating her burgeoning career. Amidst this backdrop of acclaim and criticism, several basketball legends recognized the transformative impact Clark was having on the sport. They saw in her a reflection of the qualities that define greatness: resilience, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Their support served not only as a testament to Clark's abilities, but also as a counterpoint to the naysayers, emphasizing the positive changes she was ushering into women's basketball. Larry Bird, an iconic figure in basketball history, has always been synonymous with excellence and a deep connection to Indiana. His storied career with the Boston Celtics and his roots in French Lick, Indiana, have cemented his legacy as one of the game's greats. When Bird turned his attention to Caitlin Clark, it was evident that he saw something special in her. Bird publicly expressed his admiration for Clark, highlighting her as a once-in-a-generation talent. He drew parallels between her impact on the WNBA and his own influence during his playing days. Bird was particularly proud that Clark was playing for the Indiana Fever, seeing it as a continuation of the state's rich basketball heritage. He believed that her presence in Indiana would not only elevate the team's performance but also inspire a new generation of basketball enthusiasts in the region. In interviews, Bird emphasized Clark's exceptional skills, particularly her shooting, range, and court vision. He noted that her ability to read the game and make decisive plays was reminiscent of the qualities that defined the greats of the sport. Bird's endorsement was more than just praise. It was a recognition of Clark's potential to leave an indelible mark on the game, much like he did during his tenure. Michael Jordan, often regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, is known for his discerning eye when it comes to talent. His observations carry significant weight in the basketball community, making his comments on Caitlin Clark particularly noteworthy. Jordan lauded Clark's influence on the WNBA, acknowledging her role in bringing renewed attention and energy to the league. He pointed out that her style of play was not only entertaining, but also transformative, pushing the boundaries of what was expected in women's basketball. Jordan was particularly vocal about the challenges Clark faced on the court, especially concerning officiating. He criticized instances where he felt the officiating was unfair to Clark, emphasizing the need for the league to ensure that all players are treated equitably. Jordan's support extended beyond mere words. He advocated for systemic changes within the WNBA to address any biases in officiating, underscoring the importance of creating an environment where talents like Clark could thrive without undue hindrance. His backing served as a powerful statement, highlighting the broader implications of Clark's presence in the league and the necessity for structures that support and protect emerging stars. Shaquille O'Neal, a dominant force in basketball and a keen analyst of the game's evolution, offered a compelling comparison between Caitlin Clark and NBA superstar Steph Curry. O'Neal observed that just as Curry revolutionized the NBA with his exceptional three-point shooting and ability to stretch defenses, Clark was bringing a similar dynamic to the WNBA. O'Neal highlighted Clark's long-range shooting prowess, noting that her ability to score from well beyond the arc added a new dimension to the game. This skill not only made her a constant threat on offense, but also forced opposing defenses to adapt in unprecedented ways. O'Neal's comparison underscored the transformative potential of Clark's playing style, suggesting that she could redefine offensive strategies in women's basketball. Furthermore, O'Neal emphasized the entertainment value that players like Clark bring to the sport. Her exciting style of play, characterized by deep three-pointers and creative assists, has the potential to draw more fans to the WNBA, much like Curry's impact on NBA viewership. O'Neal's insights highlighted the broader significance of Clark's emergence, pointing to a future where her influence could lead to a more dynamic and widely appreciated women's game. Magic Johnson, whose rivalry with Larry Bird is legendary, drew parallels between his own experiences and the emerging dynamic between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Johnson observed that just as his competition with Bird elevated the NBA's profile and brought unprecedented attention to the sport, the burgeoning rivalry between Clark and Reese had the potential to do the same for the WNBA.
Yeah, he had a great run, and it's fun to watch. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa, Caitlin Clark play about the same last year, so I watched a lot of basketball.
Johnson noted that healthy rivalries are instrumental in driving interest and engagement in sports. The competitive spirit Charles Barkley has always been known for his raw honesty and no-nonsense approach, both as a former NBA All-Star and as one of the most recognizable voices in sports broadcasting today. So when Charles took a moment to speak about Caitlin Clark, it wasn't just a compliment, it was a seal of approval from a man who doesn't hand out praise lightly. What stood out to Barkley most wasn't just Clark's skills on the court, it was how she handled herself off of it. He emphasized her poise, her polished media presence, and the calm confidence she carried even as she was thrown into the stormy spotlight of professional sports. Let's not forget, Clark didn't get a gradual build-up to fame. She went from dominating college basketball to becoming the face of the WNBA almost overnight. That kind of pressure can crush some players, but Clark? She embraced it. Barkley pointed out that during her first few games in the WNBA, Clark appeared to struggle with the pace. Understandably so. The pros are a different beast entirely, filled with stronger, faster, and more experienced players. But what impressed him most was her immediate response. She adjusted. She picked up the pace. She started to play faster, smarter, and more strategically. That kind of adaptability, Barkley said, is the mark of someone who will have a long, successful career. What's more, Barkley admired that Clark never got caught up in the drama. Even as feuds and rivalries began forming, especially with players like Angel Reese, Clark kept her head down, kept grinding, and let her game do the talking. Barkley, who's seen his share of media pitfalls, praised her maturity in interviews, saying she already understood how to navigate the public eye better than many veterans. That's rare. And that's exactly why Barkley believes Clark is here to stay. Allen Iverson, the man whose name is synonymous with grit, swagger, and unstoppable scoring, sees a lot of himself in Caitlin Clark. And when a legend like Iverson gives you props, it means you're doing something right. Iverson was a revolutionary force in the NBA. He wasn't the tallest or the strongest, but he had heart, killer instinct, and the kind of handles that left defenders spinning. Clark, in his eyes, brings that same level of confidence and raw offensive power to the WNBA. In a recent interview, Iverson summed it up simply: she can shoot the blood out of the ball. But it wasn't just her shooting that impressed him. Iverson was also drawn to Clark's ability to make her teammates better. That's the sign of a true offensive engine. Not just someone who racks up points, but someone who elevates everyone else on the court. He called out her elite vision and playmaking, noting how rare it is to see that kind of unselfishness from a player who also carries the scoring load. Iverson's praise didn't stop there. He talked about how young girls across the country are copying Caitlin's moves, trying to be more like her. That, to him, is proof of her impact. Just like kids once mimicked his crossover, now they're practicing logo threes and no-look passes, Caitlin's signature style. And perhaps most importantly, Iverson said he sees something long-term in Clark. She's not just a flash in the pan. He believes she's only scratching the surface of her potential, and that as she gains experience, her game will become even more dominant. From one generational player to another, that kind of praise is priceless. Chris Paul, one of the most cerebral point guards the NBA has ever seen, has made a career out of dissecting defenses and setting up teammates with surgical precision. So when State Farm approached him to congratulate Caitlin Clark on her Rookie of the Year award, he didn't just deliver a PR-friendly soundbite, he gave real advice. Insightful, heartfelt, and grounded in the reality of being a young phenom under pressure. Paul began by congratulating Caitlin on a historic rookie campaign. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists. Rookie of the month, again and again. It was a list so long, even CP3 said he could go on forever. But more than the stats, what impressed him was the joy and passion Clark brought to the court every game. Then came the mentorship moment. Paul spoke from experience, recalling how, when he won Rookie of the Year 19 years earlier, he didn't rest on his accolades. He focused on getting stronger, faster, better on defense, and building his support system. He encouraged Clark to lean on her family and inner circle, reminding her that success in pro sports isn't just about skill. It's about sustainability. What stood out most was how personal Paul made it. He wasn't just ticking off achievements, he was passing the torch. He made it clear that Caitlin was already changing the game, and that now was the time to think about the next chapter: leadership, legacy, and impact. Julius Dr. J. Irving is a name that transcends basketball. Known for his acrobatic dunks and larger-than-life presence, he was one of the first players to become a cultural icon beyond the game. So when he chimed in on Caitlin Clark's Olympic snub, people listened. Many fans were outraged when Clark didn't make the U.S. Olympic roster. But Dr. J took a different view. He urged fans, and Caitlin herself, not to see it as a setback, but as a strategic blessing. Slow your roll a little bit, he said. And coming from a man who pioneered patience and grace under pressure, it hit differently. Irving emphasized that the Olympics are just one chapter in a much longer book. He reminded everyone that he didn't start his career in the NBA. He made his name in the ABA, and still became one of the most legendary players of all time. The point? There's more than one path to greatness. Dr. J also hinted at Clark's rising influence beyond the court. Commercials, brand endorsements, social campaigns. Clark is building a presence that reaches far beyond the WNBA. And in Irving's eyes, that's just as important as what happens on the hardwood. His final message was clear. Let things happen when they're supposed to. Caitlin's time will come. And when it does, it'll be on her terms. Vince Carter on pressure and legacy. Vince Carter, better known in his prime as Vinsanity, understands hype better than most. When he entered the NBA in the late 90s, he wasn't just expected to be good. He was expected to change basketball. And in many ways he did. So when Carter looked at Caitlin Clark, he saw the same thing he once saw in the mirror. A marquee player. The face of a franchise. The player everyone's watching, everyone's talking about, and everyone's gunning for. Carter acknowledged the hate Clark has been receiving lately. The criticism, the fouls, the media drama, it's all part of the package when you're at the top. This is what happens to the marquee player, he said. You gotta earn your stripes. And he would know. In Toronto, he carried the Raptors on his back and put Canadian basketball on the map. But it wasn't easy. And it wasn't always fair. He reminded viewers that professional sports aren't just about highlight reels. They're about feeding families, keeping contracts, and staying relevant in a hyper-competitive world. That means opponents won't go easy on Clark. Not now, not ever. If anything, they'll push harder, foul harder, defend harder. Because taking down the it girl makes headlines. But Carter believes that's exactly why Caitlin's story will last. She's not running from it. She's taking every hit and coming back stronger. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's rewriting the rulebook. And as legends from every era step forward to support her, one thing becomes crystal clear. She's not just the future of the WNBA. She's the now. So if you're watching this and you're still doubting her, you're not paying attention. Hit that like button if you believe Caitlin Clark is changing the game. Drop a comment below. Who do you think she reminds you of the most? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that go beyond the headlines and into the heart of the game. Because this isn't just a highlight reel, it's a legacy in the making.